Hello and welcome. We start this week with a young lady from New South Wales, Australia, who's currently in the UK and in demand. This is Ingrid Kleinig. Then for many years, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid has been called the Great Western. Well, here's a look at an action sequence from the point of view of the director, George Roy Hill.
A difficult and dangerous part of this sequence was getting Paul riding between the horse and the mule across the square. Stars doing their own stunt work is all right up to a point, but it's always risky to let them get into really dangerous physical situations, because if they get hurt, the whole production might have to shut down, waiting for them to get patched up and back to work. But in this case, we had to get some close-ups of him riding between them, and he did them for us. For the wider shots, we were able to use Jimmy Arnett, Paul's stunt double. To get the mule to fall, we used a technique that's illegal in the United States called a flying W. The mule's front feet are wired, and the wires run up through the saddle and out back. The mule gets up a good run, and the wrangler jerks the wires and pulls his front feet out from under him, and he goes over on his face. There's a chance of breaking the animal's neck in this technique, but fortunately we didn't. Gunfights in westerns are always phony because the heroes shoot endlessly without reloading. So in laying out this sequence, I incorporated several definite times when Bob actually had to stop and reload before he went on, and I made a special point of them. I wanted the audience to accept the fact that we were being absolutely realistic, because actually for the dramatic effect of this final burst of firing, I wanted to take the license of letting him continue to fire without reloading, so long as it was dramatically effective. Actually, in our final cut, I never counted the number of shots he takes after his last reloading, but it must be close to 15, 18 times. Jimmy Arnett, Paul's stunt double, was the corregidor on top of the arch shooting at Bob. On this particular take, he took too long to fall, but I wasn't quick enough to cut and to stop him before he went. He took the fall onto a stack of cardboard boxes concealed behind that wall, but they weren't strong enough to break the fall, and he went through them under the cobblestones and fractured his pelvis. It took him almost 3 months to get back working again.
This week, we lost another great stunt performer. Terry Richards was a heavy and a sweetheart all at the same time. Versatile and always there to help those on the ladder. He's widely remembered for this sequence in Raiders of the Lost Ark, where Harrison Ford proves that you should never bring a knife to a gunfight. Well, that's it for this week, but join me again next week for more of the same. Bye-bye for now.